Now back to Inside West Virginia Politics with Mark Curtis.
And welcome back to our final segment this Sunday on Inside West Virginia Politics. We want to talk about the medical cannabis program here in West Virginia, or the lack thereof. Joining us right now is Delegate Mike Pushkin, Democrat of Kanawha County. Great to have you on the show again.
Yeah, thanks for having me on again.
No problem. Listen, July 1st is now come and gone. We do not have medical cannabis legally available in the Mountain State as we were supposed to.
No, and that's incredibly frustrating. As you know, the bill initially passed. We legalized medical cannabis back in 2017. I believe we had well over 70 votes on that, so we had bipartisan support. But unfortunately, the bill we passed in 2017 had some fatal flaws written into it. And since then, we've tried to address some of those issues and correct some of the problems with that. Like allowing for vertical integration, setting up and expanding the definition of what kind of financial institution could act as a state depository, so the money could go somewhere other than BB&T. And we've addressed some of those issues, but unfortunately that has slowed down the whole process. And, you know, who I really feel bad for, of course, are the patients who have been waiting for this.
Yeah, there was a promise made, and I think people took the legislature and the medical experts and everybody on good faith that as of July 1st of 2019, if they were undergoing chemotherapy, if they had a number of disorders that were listed in the original bill and illnesses, they could use medical cannabis to treat, and now they can't.
Yeah, it's very frustrating, and like I said, it's because the bill we passed in 2017 simply didn't work. We have tried. I wish we could have come back in during a special session even to address some of it. Now, I know special sessions cost money, $35,000 a day, but to put it in perspective, you know, one grower's license is $50,000. So that special session would have more than paid for itself.
Because banks are federally chartered, there was concern that because marijuana is still, a Schedule I drug at the national level, it's still illegal nationally,
for now,
that there was potential of prosecution if banks handled the money. So we created this system where a banking bill, and now we have financial institutions putting in bids to the Treasurer's office that would allow that to happen. Where does that stand? Do you know?
Well, the bidding just closed. We had 5 bidders. So right now where we stand on that is the Treasurer's Department is going over, analyzing those bids and deciding, you know, which financial institution to go with. I imagine in the next month or so we should know which financial institution will act as a depository for the medical cannabis program. Now, we were told during interims that if we tried this approach, which was an idea we came up with after looking at other states, we were told that we would possibly not get any bidders because people would be afraid of prosecution from the U.S. Attorney here in the Southern District. But no, we had 5 bidders. So I think that people have looked at what Congress has done recently and giving them even more protection than they had under the Blumenauer-Farr Amendment. And decided to take that it's worth the risk, and we had people step up to the plate and bid.
The other thing was the vertical integration. I know we're down to about a minute. It's hard to explain, but basically if somebody wants to be a grower, a processor, and now a dispenser, they can do that in West Virginia. One of those licenses is going to be awarded.
Well, that's up to the DHHR. I think where we are now is the first thing, nobody can apply for a license until that financial institution is in place.
Okay.
Once that's in place, then the bidding process will start for the business licenses. And the reason that was important, unfortunately, is because the IRS will treat a dispensary differently than would any other business. They don't allow them to make business deductions, so they wind up being taxed at 70% of their gross margin. The only way that they would be able to stay in business is to make up for those deductions at the growing level or the processing level. That's why that's important, unfortunately.
Yeah. No small business could sustain a 70%. Whether you're a donut shop, a flower shop, or a medical cannabis dispensary.
Yeah, unfortunately, Congress needs to address that and change that. I believe it's Rule 280E. With the IRS. They need to change that.
All right. You look in your crystal ball. Are we looking at a year from now that medical cannabis may be available in West Virginia, or maybe longer?
You know, there was the DHHR recently put out a statement saying it could be 2 to 3 years.
Wow.
I think that realistically, once that financial institution is in place, realistically, if they speed up the pace a little bit, we could be looking at a year and a half. That's what I'm hoping for.
Right. Well,
in the meantime, we should let the patients take care of themselves.
All right, we'll keep on top of the issue. Lots going on with us in the medical cannabis program. We want to thank Mike Pushkin, Delegate, Democrat of Kanawha County, for being with us. Remember, we're on a podcast. You can download us from your favorite podcast location. We'll see you back here next Sunday on Inside West Virginia Politics.